Hello all my beanie weenies and welcome back to the Traitors Castle for another episode of The Sims 4 Traitors, where me, Hotdogs, is arriving to announce the next mission for our Sims. Now, altogether, our Sims have accumulated $28,000 to the prize fund, and after today's challenge, not only will there be a few shields to protect them from murder, but they will also get 2,000 simoleons, making the prize fund $30,000. Now, today's challenge is pretty easy. Behind me, we have a few easels, and all of you will be painting a painting of your choice. Whoever has the best painting will win immunity. Now let's all gather around, pick which easel you want to have, and let's start painting. Now, while they're doing this, we gotta talk about the real Traitors that's going on right now. I'm currently watching US Season 4. Honestly, I haven't watched the UK seasons since about Season 2, so I do kind of need to catch up. I haven't watched Australia, New Zealand, Ireland, Canada. Haven't done any of those. I'm kind of just hooked on the US because I do watch so much reality TV shows that seeing a whole bunch of familiar faces is really fun for me. But this season, I'm not exactly sure how I feel. The boot order is not it for me. Like, all my favorites are going home. I dislike about half the cast. Is it still fun and exciting? Yes. But is it my favorite? No. So far, our Sims have gotten done pretty quickly. They kind of did the easiest painting you could do. They all did the same sort of figure painting, no shading, no coloring, and it looks as though Ian and Sienna are the last to finish. But it doesn't really matter if you're first or last, it matters who did it the best. So now that Ian is done, we're gonna go and look around the room and see just who got the best painting. Alright, and this is our winning painting, and it is done by Eric. So Eric now has a shield and is safe from being murdered. However, that's not all. Eric does now have a shield, but he can pick 2 other Sims to also have shields and therefore be safe from being murdered. We're of course going to check out his relationship statuses, see who he is closest to, blah, 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 blah. And whoever he is closest to will also earn shields. Now, obviously, Eva he is closest to. And then it looks as though Dawn is the next closest. So Dawn, Eva, and Eric, all 3 of you now have shields, and none of you will be murdered tonight. However, the rest of you are up for grabs. So, while I leave, you guys need to mingle. Try to get close to some traitors if you want. Or try to start some fights and figure out who the traitors are. That way you can vote them out at the square table. Now with that, Hotdogs is out of here and off to his little tower. And everyone else, the real game begins again. Time to mix and mingle and get the drama started. Now it looks as though the first thing that Lily does after the immunity challenge is isolate herself and do yoga in the back courtyard. Now everyone loves to spend time by themselves, and it honestly makes the game kind of difficult. Not only are you trying to get close to people to earn yourself safety and not be voted out, but it's also been really hard for them to find a traitor because there isn't too many arguments, there's not too many dislikes, and the people that they do dislike end up being faithfuls. So it's been a really hard time for the faithfuls, and maybe in Season 2 we're going to have to do some tweaking and look around. It looks as though Thorn has discovered that he likes pessimistic Sims, and he discovered that while playing soccer in the breakfast room with Jeb. Now Jeb is pretty pessimistic. Of course, I thought maybe that would cause some arguments, but instead it seems as though it's making him friends, and it's honestly not a pairing I would have saw coming. And of course, once the soccer ball is out of the way, Jeb is putting his dirty hands right back into the fountain per usual. But I don't know, maybe I was right. Maybe being pessimistic did end up causing some arguments. As we see, their friendly banter ends up turning into real banter, and the two of them begin to argue. I'm not too sure if Thorn knows exactly what he likes. Meanwhile, in the library, Eva and Ian are playing some chess, pondering some moves, and trying to figure out not only the game of chess, but the game of the traitors. Maybe the two of them will be able to figure out who is who. Or maybe one of them is a traitor. Eva has been getting close with a lot of Sims. She's really up there in popularity in the castle, and I think a lot of that has to do with her flirty behavior and hooking up. Meanwhile, Ian is kind of coasting in the middle. He's not enemies with anyone. He's not friends with anyone either. He's just kind of there. Meanwhile, upstairs in the bar, Jess makes herself something to drink, while everyone seems to be avoiding Don. Don is playing foosball on his own by himself, and Jess isn't really interacting with him. We also see Sienna enters the room with a book and decides to read. And as soon as Dawn walks over there to try to talk to her, she gets straight up and walks away. I'm not sure where all the beef is coming for Dawn, but no one is really messing around with him today. Maybe this means he is a traitor, or maybe this means he'll be voted out in the next square table vote. I don't really know. Meanwhile, back outside in the courtyard, Lily is still doing yoga, and Eva and Thorn are doing what they do best. Flirting, mingling, and woohooing. We'll just have to wait and see where they decide to woohoo, and if it's going to be somewhere private or not. You never really know with these Sims. They love to just do stuff out in the open. Alright, so it looks as though they're actually heading upstairs. Okay, so we're not doing it outside for once. And when they walk to the bar, we see that Gunther and Sienna are actually talking to Don. Now, is this just friendly banter, or are we staring at the traitors right now? And it looks as though Thorn and Eva have actually found a bedroom for once to do their business in. Kudos to them, they're improving. But back in the bar, we see that Sienna is a bit more friendly now that the book is out of her hand. But it does make me think that I haven't really heard your guys' theories on who the traitors are. We don't have too many Sims left, but we do still have 3 traitors among them. So they are definitely controlling the house, and I'm really curious who you think it is. Ian is still holding court over the chess table. That's kind of his go-to move, and he's trying to see what Eric thinks of everything. But I'm going to go ahead and gather some of our Sims together. I'm tired of them being so spread out throughout the castle. The castle is a bit too big for these Sims nowadays. There's not so many of them left. So I am going to try to get them to go down to the bluffs, go hang out by a fire, and really mix and mingle together. We see that they pass a bunch of different stranger Sims while they head down there. Not too sure what they're stretching and doing, but as we walk past them, we head down to the beach and light a bonfire. And hopefully this will start forming some more closer relationships, or really what I'm hoping for is some arguments, okay? I need them to start disliking each other, because the more they like each other, the better the faithfuls are doing, honestly. It looks as though Gunther has dug up something, found something in the sand. However, I can confirm it is not a shield, and he is still able to be murdered tonight. Him and Jess are hanging out and talking while Jeb is lighting a fire, and Sienna and Don are fishing. Now that Don has discovered his new love for fishing, I'm sure he is really happy right now to be doing that. Meanwhile, Jess is just being weird and staring into the distance. Jess is a really strange character. I honestly don't really know where to place her, especially with the whole Strangerville disease sort of thing going on. She never seems to be in the right headspace. She's always kind of off on her own and being strange. Fitting from where she's from, but I don't know, is that strange, like, traitor activities, or is that just her being her? I'm not too sure. And it's weird. You see people kind of gathering together in groups, especially when it's in threes and stuff. And I'm always like, are these our three traitors? You know, is it just Gunther and Jeb? Is it Dawn and Sienna? Every time we see them kind of grouping together, I always have to wonder, because I honestly don't think our traitors are really fighting amongst themselves so far right now. And that's another thing. Like, I do want to do a season 2 eventually, and there's definitely going to have to be some tweaking, because I do want some more activities going on apart from just woohooing and getting along. I need the drama, people. And honestly, the only ones really bringing the drama this season have been Thorne and Eva and their messy woohoo relationships with everyone. But this isn't Love Island, this is the Traitors, okay? So I need more backstabbing. And I thought it was interesting that this season, on both the UK and the US season, they tried the secret traitor, where the audience didn't know who the traitors were, no one knew who the traitor was, and I'm not gonna say they copied me, but it but it is a similar thing. And honestly, I didn't watch how the UK one turned out, I only saw how the US one was, and it was a big old flop. So I don't know, maybe it's not the best idea. Maybe for season 2 of The Sims Traitors, you should know who the traitors are going into it. I don't know, let me know what you think we should do for the next season down below. I would love to know your opinions. But as the sun begins to set, all of our Sims head to bed. Now that they all have their own bedrooms almost, they can all kind of have their own private space. But none of them are going to be able to sleep easy except for Eric, Dawn, and Eva, as soon someone will be murdered. Now, while they're all heading to bed, I am going to take this time to remind you to share, subscribe, hit the like button, all that kind of stuff. I am going to be posting regularly as the season goes on. This season will be finished by the time the TV series is finished this year. I can promise you that. But I don't have any specific dates, so make sure you hit that bell and you're notified whenever I post a new episode. Alright, now that our Sims are tucked away in bed, it's time to head over to the Traitors turret as our 3 traitors gather to make their next kill. Now, one idea that I have going forward for the Traitors is maybe next season we can have kind of like a short list, like what they do for the newer season of the Traitors, where you can actually see kind of what everyone is thinking, since I can't really show you their relationship statuses, as that would kind of show you who the Traitors are. Maybe I could do a short list so you could kind of get the vibe of who they're disliking, who people are voting for. Or maybe I'll just tell you who the traitors are, that way you can know in advance. I'm not too sure. But to find out who has been murdered, you have to watch the next episode. Sorry to leave it on a cliffhanger, but I love you guys and you don't want to miss the next one, because something big is coming. Bye!